Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian, welcome back to Victoria 3, Voice of the People. So in today's episode, we're going to be doing some wars. We just need to take care of a couple things first. Now, you notice that this did just happen. It was one day from happening, apparently. I left off with that. And so they've been removed from the government. So that's a problem. That's the bourgeoisie when they made that demand that we couldn't meet. And so we need to re-add them to government. Though they actually weren't pulled out. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, they should have been pulled out of government. We did get the hit to their opinion because we failed petition. So you see negative 14.95. And so they're not happy with us. We lost all those modifiers, but they were not pulled out of government. Okay, well that's interesting. Yeah, they're supposed to be. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Now that obligation did expire as well. Remember that was in the Dutch Netherlands. Wasn't really much we could do there. I guess we could have got the opinion boost for absolving it or whatever, but yeah, it wouldn't have helped us much. We wouldn't really care about the area. So what we're working on in today's episode, I already got a couple things built in here. We're working on the Eiffel Tower. And then also I noticed that, if we're gonna be doing some wars, small arms need to be brought down in price. A revolution here in Germany that we want to declare our neutrality in. But yeah, I'm trying to bring down the price of the small arms because they're kind of expensive right now. And then also, obviously, we have some bureaucracy issues, so we're taking care of that too. Now we need to build up our gold reserve, so we shouldn't be building any more than that. In fact, I probably built a little bit too much. I said we were in the positive by 40,000 when I started here, so yeah, that's not always accurate when you hop into the game. See, now we're back in the positive by a lot. That building was not costing us that much, though, I don't think. I guess it was. Well, anyways, so we're going to continue working on these two buildings here, and then build up that gold reserve. Now, we do have that expedition that we could go ahead and do again, I suppose. Let's see if we got somebody who's going to be more likely to succeed in this. A general that has a trait. One of the traits that would give us a bonus, I think Explorer's the main one. I don't know if any other ones like Surveyor helps. You'd think it would. And we could just hire one of these guys, but the problem is they're landowners. I mean, it might just die though, because that's typically what happens as we've seen. We could take a look at the current generals we have. I don't want to put that guy out there. We don't need to have another good general dead. Same thing with this guy here. You can put this character out there though. He's an old man. He's alright. Another thing to consider, of course, is their interest groups. So like the Catholic Church is getting bonuses from both of these characters here. This guy's not very good at all. Maybe we'll just send one of these two. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Now, maybe I shouldn't even do this because they have some large penalties if you fail. The bonuses are nice though, so. Now, of course, we don't always get to pick who we're going to send. Since there's only 3 choices, we can't like specify that we want one guy over the other. This character's actually really old. So you could send him, but he also might die on the trip. There's a good chance he'll die or retire on the trip since he's in his 70s. So we're going to send this character, Raymond. And we'll see how he does on this expedition here. Because I'd like to get it completed. I think it's fitting for us to do so, considering the fact that we are in that region colonizing. And looks like the Belgians have worked on improving relations with us. They know we are on the warpath. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why our money is fluctuating so much at the moment. Could be a lot of things though. Alright, so the expedition embarks onward. So we'll see how this goes this time. Really need to make sure you don't get too much peril, but you gotta also advance it, so yeah, once we're done with the arms industry, we'll just stop building. And that should allow us to start building up the gold reserves again. Because I'd like to have a few million at least in gold reserves before we start this conflict. Of course, the Eiffel Tower is going to take a while. It takes a little bit longer to build that than other things. But yeah, we're back in the positive now. But unfortunately, we have a massive bureaucracy shortage. Where the hell did that happen from? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how we lost so much. Alright, so one government administration building is not going to fix that problem. Yeah, we're losing 10% in tax waste now. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. We must have been getting a bonus or something that we're no longer getting. That's what I'm assuming here. Was it with, it might have been with one of our interest groups. So, the British and Dahomey have peace. Looks like our expedition is once again dealing with dysentery. So we can tell them to push on. I mean, there's no peril as of right now. You're only going to get minor progress, though. Yeah, we'll just tell them to rest for a while. We got to be more careful with the peril. Revolution is happening in Italy. So we should probably declare neutrality in here so we don't get all those notifications. So it looks like this is going to be a larger conflict because Prussia is backing one side. Well, the revolutionaries are being backed by the United States. Well, that's interesting. Maybe we would want to keep our eye on this because nearby and great powers are getting involved here. But this one we can declare neutrality in. It looks like we do have a war that's about to start here in North Africa. From us attempting to colonize here. So we're going to have to fight this. Okay, so this will be a small conflict. Hopefully. The Spanish will help out as well. Not that we really need their assistance. So we'll just kind of raise up a small army that's not too expensive. If we can. We got another event for our expedition here. And again, it's minor progress for peril. Yeah, I guess we'll just do that one. But yeah, you often can't avoid taking peril, or else it just doesn't advance at all. And then you get those events that reduce the peril that are useless to you because, And it looks like the British are getting further involved in the Arabian Peninsula. Because, yeah, they just keep on expanding. And we are not. So, yeah, we really need to start doing some wars here, guys. So we'll see what we can do in this one. Lose progress that we don't have, or gain minor progress with peril. Yeah, I guess we'll do this one. This is the same event we got before. We're not going to read all these because there's not a lot of differences here. Once you've done one set of events, you're not going to find too many that are different. So yeah, we'll have to do that one. They'll get us a little bit of progress, but you got the peril already. So we'll have to see. It's low peril, so maybe we can burn that down some. And I don't think we really care about this situation here. Weren't they under the Ottoman Empire? Yeah, the Ottomans lost Persia and this territory. Maybe in those wars with the British. So yeah, the British just continue to expand. They're going to subjugate them. They're going to lose that conflict. And yeah, we can't fight the British every time they attempt to expand anywhere. We just need to match their expansion. But again, I would like to have a little bit of a gold reserve, and we'll get this war done here as well. But these wars we're going to be doing are smaller conflicts, so therefore, I guess we'll do this one for the minor progress. But yeah, therefore we don't have to raise up huge armies in order to do these. But yeah, they just have one guy here, so let's get the smallest army that we can. We probably don't have, we don't have many options here. He's got the 16, and fortunately he's already out there. I suppose there's the Italy HQ, and then you can have like a real small army of just 10. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you're not giving, any of these generals who are of interest groups who don't want to have power too much. You're not giving them too much power. Now he's ambitious, so might not want him. I guess we'll do this guy. He's arrogant, so he's not as popular. Yeah. So recruit him, and then he's the one that we're going to mobilize here. And just have him advance over here. And yeah, once this war is done, I think that'll be good enough, guys. We'll finish this up, and then we should have a good enough gold reserve. And go ahead and do some offensive conflicts. And maybe we'll have this done as well. That's the graves of the previous expedition that we found. So we've made it past where they are at, basically. We still have low peril, and we're halfway done. So not going that bad this time. We'll see if we can get it completed. Just got to be really cautious with that that peril that you gain. So yeah, this war will take longer than you'd think just because you got to march all the way down here. And it's only one unit, but you got to wait all that time. And what is all happening? So one of our generals and one of the agitators is gone. So that got rid of that political movement. Okay, it looks like we had some changes with our interest groups as well. So we got this event again here. The expedition comes across some graves dug at the side of the river. The trinkets and items left atop them indicate it is all that remains of a previous expedition. So we got it again. Well, we'll take it. Because, yeah, that's going to help us get this completed. And the armed forces suggest a more hardline foreign policy towards the Netherlands due to our poor relations. So we can set aside polite formalities. They are the enemy. That'll decrease relations with the Dutch, but will make the armed forces happy, though they're already pretty loyal. But that's what we'll do. We don't want to give up any authority. Yeah, the armed forces likes us quite a bit. So yeah, we could be constructing right now to get the bureaucracy issue fixed. So let's do just one at a time. Yeah, we'll just do one at a time, guys. And just kind of slowly fix the issue here. And we'll just base this on the tax waste. So we'll at least stay in the positive and continue to build up the gold reserves. And so yeah, this war, again, it'll take a little bit longer, despite this low number of troops, just because you got to march all the way across the desert here. Probably be more costly, too, than you'd expect, simply due to the fact that you're going to take a lot more in attrition. But still, it's not really that bad. So yeah, we'll get that knocked out. And French Congo is isolated. I think a lot of our colonies are still isolated. We need to build ports, but I'm not going to prioritize that right now. Yeah, but I'm not entirely sure what happened to the bureaucracy, where we lost all that. Only thing I can think is like an interest group situation is how we lost it. So yeah, if we look at what is their bonus, that's where we lost it, the middle managers. Okay, so yeah, the bureaucracy we lost from them not being pleased with us anymore. Alright, so this is another expedition event. At their arrival to a village by the riverside, one of its inhabitants quickly runs to the expedition, mumbling something about one of their kind. So you say we found him. Who is this guy? Is that the general that was lost? That's interesting. So if we go with that, Raymond will gain popularity, and the French Empire gains prestige. And that's one of the negatives of using somebody we didn't care about here, is that he'll get all the bonuses, which is the reason why I originally signed our better general there. So I was hoping he'd get the bonuses from being successful, but then of course he died. Yeah, this will get us some of this prestige that we had lost. We can say he seems happy here and we get the minor progress. So basically, do you want the prestige for the peril? Or do you just want to get the minor progress? I just want to get the minor progress. I want to complete this. And this guy here, he's not like he's our really good general or anything. So let's go with this one. And that'll let us complete the Niger River expedition. Alright, excellent. So he's returned triumphantly. The course and termination of the Niger River has been plotted. Excellent news. So he'll get the explorer trait, which that gives you that popularity. And, you know, the expedition opportunity is increased. And then we get 25% prestige. That'll make up for the prestige we had lost. Alright, excellent. Now, we're still probably fairly low. Yeah, compared to the British, we have definitely fallen behind here. Alright, so as soon as this gets done, we'll probably just start another one and just build one at a time here. And yeah, this war is taking way longer than I wanted to. Just taking them, we do have a general assigned there, right? It almost seems like we don't. Oh, Lord. Nope. That's why it's taking so long. We don't have a front there, it seems. Because this is all impassable territory. Okay, so they've already been defeated. We just gotta be patient and wait here. So this is... Did two Sicilies get involved in this? It seems like they did. Alright, so they have capitulated. Excellent. And so we're at 1.82 million. So yeah, we'll be declaring war here soon. I did want to take a look at this conflict that they're currently in. Yeah, they are in that revolution. I want to see who is all in it. Is that it? So those other great powers didn't get involved, it seems. So two Sicilies is helping out Sardinia, Piedmont, to put down the revolution. All right, so let's go ahead and get another government administration building. And at least our economy is still being built up, despite the fact that we're not currently building anything. We got some authority, so that's nice. And we can go ahead and get another tech. All right, so we'll look at the society tax, although maybe we should take a look at the military tax first, since we're about to do these conflicts. So like getting the hand cranked machine guns would be nice to have. And maybe we'll get that. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Focus on these military tax, since we're about to do some wars. So the first war, let's see, we can go and get it kicked up, figure out what we want to do here. So I think we'll probably attack Vietnam first. Could also expand over here. I eventually want to start attacking the countries here in Africa. I guess there is the concern that they'll go after the Ashanti. Just looking at the different areas we could go with. Let me just make sure there's nowhere else that we can colonize here in Africa. There actually is. There's this area here. I don't know that we're going to want to do this. What I'd like is just like this part here. But you can't stop colonizing once you start. So maybe let the British do a little bit of colonizing here, and then we'll start. So that we'll have like better borders. It'll just look nicer. We can also declare another interest. I think we keep losing one. This one here keeps getting removed from us. So let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this diplomatic play started up. Again, we could do it in Africa, but let's go over here first and do it against the Vietnamese. Now, they do have a defensive pact with Portugal. Okay, that's interesting. So this will be a larger conflict than I was expecting. And we don't want to make them into a protectorate. I think we're just going to try and conquer their territory here. As far as which one we want to start with, probably this one. But we're going to most likely just get them all. And just hope nobody gets involved in it. So, of course, Portugal would be involved. We already know that. But we'll have Spain to help us, so Spain will be invading Portugal. All right, so let's go and start this diplomatic play up. And then what we'll want to do is add in the war goals to take over the rest of this territory here. Could also take territory from Portugal and take a look real quick and see if there's anything that we want from them. It looks like there's a little patch here that we could take from them. Of course, that means they would have to be invaded and defeated, but that's not that big of a deal because it's already gonna happen. Because the Spanish are gonna invade them. Yeah, we'll go and take that territory as well. Of course, all this is going to result in a lot of infamy. We'll see if we have the points. We should have enough points for all this. But yeah, this is going to piss a lot of people off. And then we'll also want to conquer this little patch of territory here. That's Portuguese Gambia. So we're going to take that as well. And our infamy is going to be pretty bad now. We're notorious. Just from conquering Vietnam, you get way too much infamy for conquering stuff in Asia and in Africa. So we lost that defensive pact. We're going to piss off everybody. Belgians don't even want to improve relations with us anymore. The Russians have broken off trade. Like, why would Russia care that we're conquering territory in Vietnam? It's all just kind of silly. Yeah, I don't like those. Wow, Russia sided with them. They got swayed and sided with them. This is just ridiculous. Why would Russia care about our expansion in Vietnam? It's silly. It's really silly. Like, they went from having a defensive pact with us to now wanting to fight us over Vietnam. It's just so ridiculously silly. Because we're infamous now. Yeah. The game needs a lot of work, guys. In my opinion. It needs a lot of work. So we're not going to want to do this one here. We don't want to reduce the investment in law enforcement, though maybe we do with all that bureaucracy. negative bureaucracy that we have here. But making the bourgeoisie happy would fix that issue. Of course, you got to get a little bit higher than that. But yeah, the use of force is warranted. So yeah, everybody's siding with Vietnam now. And we have disappearing interest as well. Yeah, Russia is now a rival over Vietnam. It's just crazy. Like, I could see if maybe if we were going after Korea or Japan or China, you know, something more in their interest, but it's just kind of silly. I'll wait a little bit longer here, though. This is going to be a larger conflict than anticipated, and we'll have to do an invasion as well. So whatever troops we're going to be using, that's... Okay, now we're going to raise these up. But they have to be in the... I think they might have changed that. I'm not entirely sure. They said they loosened up the restrictions as far as invasions. You know, you had to have your army be part of the same area as the navy that's going to do the invasion. I don't know what they mean by they loosened up restrictions, though. So I can't say how it's changed. We're probably just going to send him. So 36 units here. Of course, because the Russians are involved, that's not going to be enough, most likely. Let me just take a look. How many have been raised up so far? 66 currently. Now we have the Spanish helping as well. So what we'll do is let's go ahead and raise up. We'll mobilize his troops. And he's in the French HQ, so he's French HQ, so he's the one that's going to be doing the invasion. And then maybe get a few more units raised as well. Maybe like the 44 here. I just don't know how many they're going to send. The Russians, I mean. I imagine they're not going to fight for long before they just back out of it. But yeah, let's go and raise him up as well. But he'll be doing the invasion. So let's get our navy selected. And then we're going to want them to do the naval invasion. Of course, we can't do it just yet. We have to wait till the war actually kicks up here. But that's who's going to be involved here. The Russians and the Portuguese. We can go ahead and continue building. I'm kind of irritated we had to do this, but keep building up these government administration buildings. See, I don't really want to spend all this money on it. I don't really feel like the IG should affect the stuff up here. Because, you know, their opinions change too much, and then you find yourself in, you know, hardcore negative because you built up based on what they were giving you. A 10% boost is a lot when you're getting so much of it. And so you find yourself like deeply in a bureaucracy if you don't have one of them appeased or whatever. So the war has broken out, and so we can go ahead and now do our naval invasion here. Oh yeah, they also got involved. We won't be invading them. Yeah, it looks like you can send anybody there. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so I believe the guy we wanted to send was him, though. Yeah, it seems you can send anybody. So yeah, we'll do the naval invasion here. I'm glad they did that, because that was, first of all, naval invasions were just too restrictive anyways, and too difficult to do. They're a real pain in the butt. And so yeah, they really needed to improve, and it looks like they did. I'm glad to see that. Alright, so we'll get this invasion started here in just a few days. The Portuguese are going to be dealt with by the Spanish, and so we should be able to enforce our claim there and get that one province. And also, we got the steam donkeys. And this is a good thing, not because we actually need the steam donkeys, because we're not going to use those, but because it gives us access to the next technology. Alright, so we'll see if this here is successful in Prussia's damaging relations. Everybody's going to hate us. Everybody's going to hate us. Oh, we're actually doing a naval battle here. We're going to win that. So they did try and stop our invasion from happening, but they will be unsuccessful. Let's see how this looks. It does look like we will succeed. We'll land all right. Wasn't entirely sure because, well, I guess the Russians can't send anybody, huh? Yeah, they can't defend their territory. So they'll have to wait until there's a front before they can send anybody. So this got us more prestige. All right, excellent. Just trying to catch up to the British. I think another issue here is that the British are ahead of us in tech. One of our big problems is that our literacy rate is kind of low. And so I feel like we're probably behind in tech, and that might explain one of the reasons why we're not as high as you'd expect. Seems that this is a problem here. The Russians have decided to go to this front, so maybe we'll send those troops over there until the Russians go to Vietnam. That makes sense. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We will send that army that we did mobilize, so it makes sense to make use of them. Send them on over here. Do we want to advance, though? Let me see. Is this guy... Well, he's not a offensive or a defensive-minded guy. The 102 against 190. You should probably just defend the front for right now until the Russians back out of this, which I expect they'll do because they don't really care that much about any of this, and we have no demands against them. Portugal, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit less likely to back out since we do have a war goal against them. Alright, so we've improved opinion with the intelligentsia. So yeah, we'll land here and then we'll be able to start pushing forward. And we'll have to see if the Russians send troops. I assume they will. But it's actually a good thing because then we can start, bleeding them and get them out of the damn war. Our convoys have been sunk in the Bay of Biscay. Okay. Well, our fleet was busy. So they'll go back to... Well, actually, they will not go back to doing that. We don't want them to escort convoys there. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Instead, we'd want them to escort convoys around this area here. Or actually, I think just patrolling the coast would be enough. Since they're attacking here. Maybe not, though. Yeah, that might not be. We'll see if they continue to attack them if we can't get them engaged there. But this should not take long here. Although, the Russians are on the way. And Vietnam does have a good number of troops, 80 divisions, 80 battalions here. Of course, they're not very good. So we have a much higher offense than their defense. But once the Russians get here, this is going to be much slower. And they are sending 66 units here, it looks like. Alright, so they're still attacking us over here. So that's still an issue. This is another area I'd really like to see Paradox improve. Because it's just... so difficult to tell what's going on there. So you look at your shipping lanes here, what is even being shipped through there? We know that there's probably shipping going to our troops there, right? And then we got our colonies and stuff as well, but that doesn't tell us it here. Look at the shipping lanes. This says it's all going to Russia. Well, we're not even trading with Russia because we're at war with Russia. So you can see that we have 0 convoys going through there. Yet clearly we do have convoys going through there because they're sinking them. So it's broken. It's just absolutely broken, this whole system. It's nice you can click on the Navy and see who's there. And you see that we're patrolling there or whatever, but yeah, it's just a broken system, guys. That I'd really like to see them improve. But yeah, let's go ahead and we'll keep them patrolling the coast because they should be engaging them there. And then these guys will do the convoy protection. Looks like they're already doing escorting convoys here to North Africa. Okay, so we must have kept that going. But yeah, we'll have them escort convoys to the invasion point because I think that's the main thing that's going through there. They should hopefully do what we need them to do. So we'll have to see how this changes when the Russians get here. And we might have to send more troops. How is this front looking? It looks like the Spanish are pushing forward. All right, excellent. That's what we want to see. All right, so yeah, they're continuing to attack us there, so we have not engaged them yet. Yeah, they just keep on sinking the convoys. And we're just not, I guess, able to catch up to them. Russia declared the United States as a rival as well. Here we go. All right, so we caught them here now. And this should be an easy battle here against them. We have a much better fleet. And that should stop the convoy raiding, hopefully for a little while. All right, so the Russians have arrived, but then they left again. That's great. Yeah, so they came over here. They spent all that time to get over here, and then they left almost immediately. And that's beautiful. Yeah, still sinking our convoys over there. All right, so let's take a look at the Portuguese front. See how close this is to being done here. Where are our troops? Okay, they're over on this one. So I'll just let them do the attacking. They can bring our units into those attacks. But we'll just stick on the defense for now. Make sure the Spanish don't get pushed back at all. And we're still advancing over here. Probably taking a lot of attrition given the terrain here. Yeah, they're sinking like stupid numbers of convoys. We're just not able to catch up to them, unfortunately. What is this situation here? Another North Germany revolution? Yeah, let's just declare neutrality. We don't care about that. Don't need all those notifications. Also, we can build another government administration building. But man, they don't really seem to be having any effect here. Yeah, we built that last one. It didn't really change much there. So we're at 3.25 million. We did finally intercept him again. But yeah, this is the key here. It's just winning here. And once we get done with that, we'll get this war won. So it looks like we're having more success intercepting him now. All right, excellent. So that's good news. Let me just take a look at our prices here. Small arms are pretty expensive. I'm not too worried about it though, guys. We're doing good in money. And they're now happy, so the bureaucracy goes back up. Again, it's just like, it'll fluctuate too much. That's my problem with it. If you're a bigger country, it just results in such a huge fluctuation. Like, you can't fix it if they're unhappy with you. I mean, I guess there should be major effects if an interest group doesn't like you, but I mean, this interest group has like 4% of the power in our country. The fact that, you know, because they're unhappy and they have 4% influence and they don't like you, and it's not even that they dislike you, they're just not pleased with you. And then you lose 10% of all your taxes. It's kind of ridiculous. And then all of a sudden they're now okay with you and now you get the 10% back. And then you lose it again. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. I'll tell you guys, there's definitely some things I'd like to see. I mean, obviously there's a ton of things I'd like to see improved with the game. And so we have 76 units here. What happened to... Oh, okay. He must have got promoted or something because it's the same general here. Okay, that is not the guy we sent there. Yeah, what the hell is going on? I'm guessing somebody got field promoted or something over there and I missed it. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's not the general we sent. Could be wrong, but yeah, I could have swore he had different traits. Yeah, it seems like this is like a different guy. Okay, whatever. I don't care enough. Whatever. You guys do your things, generals. Yeah, the military system has obviously been a severe weakness for Victoria. Alright, so it looks like on one side we got the advantage. I suppose we'll stay on this side here, because that's where their capital is, so you wanna make sure you win there. And that was removed from the journal entry. We weren't able to complete it in time. The Russians have stayed in this for way longer than I was expecting. I thought they'd give up as soon as we bled them a bit. But apparently not. We did get the hand crank machine gun, give us more army defense and more kill rate, so that's nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other military techs, see if there's anything we'd like to get here. Probably the bolt action rifles, since we've seen that we are short on the small arms, so it makes sense to get that before we got like trench works or anything like that. Although these are all level 4, and thus would take 4 years, so we really don't want to spend 4 years working on anything right now. So instead, let's go for a level 3 tech in a different group. Taxation capacity, we have seen that it's been getting a little bit lower in some of our locations, so could go for that. But before we do, let me just see if there's anything in production that might be a better option. Well, we haven't gotten that one yet for the steel mills. This could do that. That's helpful too, even if we're not personally building much. And we talked about doing the vacuum canning as well. Okay, so since this is already being worked on here, Let me just take a look at the steel prices before I say that we're not going to go for that yet. Let's see where they're at. They're only at 7%. So yeah, since that's already been worked on, we'll let that finish up on its own and do the vacuum canning instead. And then we'll do maybe the reinforced concrete. I'm going to set both of these up here to get done. All right, so we're almost done in Vietnam, guys. It's a bummer we haven't seen more success in Portugal, but once we finish in Vietnam, we'll be able to go over there and start advancing. It looks like the Spanish should push the Russians back here. They're doing an attack. And that's what we really need, is successful defenses against the Russians, push them out of this conflict. And yeah, we'll just continue building the government administration buildings, despite the fact that they seemingly aren't doing anything for bureaucracy. That's what it feels like, because we've been sitting around the same spot here. So the bureaucracy we're losing due to population and stuff like that is happening around the same rate that we get these built. You need to build like a bunch of them or whatever, but obviously we're broke. And we'd never be able to fix the 800. That'd take far too long. There we go, Russia. Get the hell out of it. Out of the war, man. Alright, so that should allow the Spanish to have a lot more success over here. In fact, we're going to now start helping them. We will advance the front ourselves. Now that the Russians are out. And they did capitulate over here. Alright, excellent. So we've conquered their territory here. It's got control of all this. What we want to do is take a look at all the stuff they're currently building here. Like, probably don't need another port. So yeah, let's go ahead and stop building that. Oops, I didn't mean to get rid of both of those ports. Well, we got a port here, I'm sure, somewhere. So I don't think it'll be an issue. Maybe not. Watch there not be a port anywhere else. Are you serious? Oh, there we go. We got one. Alright, so we got one port. I didn't mean to delete both of those. Just wanted to stop the one we were currently working on. And so we're not going to build this either. I don't want to work on any of these things. The dye plantations. Looks like that's being done over here. So yeah, we can't reduce that. Okay, that's fine. What about this one here? Yeah, that's also being worked on by Pops. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and do the reset production methods in this whole area. Alright, excellent. And so that should help out a lot with catching up with the British. You know, conquering that territory. And so now we need to finish up over here to get the Portuguese out of the conflict. We could conquer them, but there's really no purpose to conquering them. The Russians have ended the rivalry with us, by the way. But yeah, there's no point, because not like you can actually take their territory, because it wasn't a war goal. And the Russians are now going to stop damaging relations. I mean, you see how it is, man? They hated us, and all of a sudden they don't. Like, yeah, we hated you because you dared to conquer Vietnam. But now that you've conquered Vietnam, we like you again. Makes perfect sense. Don't think about it too hard, guys. So yeah, we've finished up some colonization here. Prussia stopped damaging relations, so everybody is. Even though we're still notorious, it has ticked down some. Yeah, I just feel like you get too much infamy for areas that nobody cares about, or they shouldn't care about. You know, maybe it makes sense the British would care about it, the Dutch, but why would the Prussians or the Russians care about this? Just because their names rhyme? I don't know. I don't know why they'd care about Vietnam. It doesn't make any sense, man. So yeah, the British are having a fight here. We're just going to declare our neutrality. So yeah, getting those gold reserves built up in preparation for a larger conflict, because eventually all this war that we're going to be doing is going to result in a larger conflict. I mean, that was a larger one when you think about the fact that the Russians joined. Alright, so this here shouldn't be going anymore. They really should just give me what I want. But hopefully it'll finish up soon. I guess one thing we could do here is do the make peace. Alright, so, I mean, they didn't have to, we didn't have to do that for them to capitulate. It just so happened they capitulated as soon as we did that. They didn't actually make the peace treaty. They just straight up capitulated. So yeah, we got their territory over here. and Gambia. All right, excellent. So just kind of extending our influence in the area. And that worked out nicely. Alright, so now we need to burn off infamy before we do any more wars, because as you guys see, even when you're attacking in colonial regions, everybody really, really cares. We can also be building some more stuff here. You know, I know that we're in the positive here at bureaucracy, but for now we're in the positive. Let's go ahead and build. How much do we need to fix this? A lot of negative taxation capacity here. So we'll do, you're not getting much from each of these. And yeah, I want more bureaucracy for whenever we lose that bonus we get from the bourgeoisie, that we won't be so far in the negative. So yeah, I guess we'll do one more here. Just kind of really work on getting the bureaucracy improved. But yeah, like it's like, what's the point of getting the 10% bonus is the way I feel, because you have to remember that you could lose it any moment, and so I can't even spend it. It's the same thing as me not even having it, because I don't want to spend it, because if I lose the bonus I get from them liking me, then I'm in, you know, the negative and losing 10% of my tax income. So it just feels like I can't even spend it then in that particular case, which I want to do because we want to add states into our country. In fact, I might just go ahead and do that anyways and start integrating, because yeah, we want to incorporate these states here. Now, which ones do we have to incorporate to get this done? So it looks like just these 3 need to be integrated. Okay, so we can integrate those 3, and then you might as well do Tunis as well, though these are incredibly expensive bureaucracy-wise. Okay, so yeah, we wouldn't be able to afford much. So yeah, we're just going to need to focus on building government administration buildings for a long time. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this to get it started. And then we'll do this one as well. And then we'll just kind of work on these other ones once we get a bit more bureaucracy from getting these government administration buildings finished up over here. So we can get this completed here. Now, this is at least 5 states in the Indochina strategic region are owned by us or our subjects. So we need to conquer more territory in order to succeed at this. So I suppose that'd be the next area we'd go after. Again, I do want to push forward here in Africa. I think Ashanti makes the most sense, because then you connect our 2 regions here. So I suppose we would want to go there next. So maybe we'll do Ashanti and then we'll advance more in Indochina. Yeah, I think that's the plan. And we'll see if the British get involved in this, since they are obviously concerned with this region. This is one of their interest areas. So we border them here in their territory in Dahomey. So yeah, we'll see if we have to fight them on it. And if we do, I'll probably add these in, or somewhere. Maybe this one. This makes probably more sense to add in. The next war we go with the British, we will be making demands of them. They're not going to be able to just, jump into war and then get out of it for nothing. We're going to make them give us something, because we've been building up to fight these guys. Now, obviously our fleet is still nowhere near their size. I don't think we can compare with them fleet-wise. I mean, even in the army, we can't compare with them now, because they have built that army up so much. Alright, so let me just take a look how things have gone here. Okay, they still need to colonize a lot more before we start doing this, but we can go and colonize over here and get that started. Just continue to advance in this territory. The British have most of this already here. And what is this about? Oh, okay, they're rebelling against us over here. Okay, so that's just that little patch of territory that remains. So yeah, we'll just raise up a small army. I assume they don't even have Yeah, just the 2 battalions. So it's not going to be a large conflict. So we'll just do the 10 battalions, I think, in Italy again to do this war here. Another gold rush. All right, so yeah, we'll spread the word. Get that migration attraction. And we got an event about the French Dream. So again, about the gold rush. So we'll do this one here. Just moderate expectations. And so we're looking at 48.1. It's going to take a while to burn off all that infamy. And these are also likely going to take a while to incorporate. Yeah, really long time. You know what? Because it's going to take so long, we should just go ahead and go into the negative on both of these. And then we'll just build up. I know this is going to hit us with the tax waste, but it's fine. And yes, I did not raise up the troops here. So that's not good. So let's go ahead and get them raised up. So we want, again, the small army here to advance the front. Looks like there's a bunch of different fronts here. Beautiful. Alright, so I guess we want to go wherever their troops are. So that'll take them some time to get there. Probably won't be there in time for the war breaking out, because I neglected to send these guys. But they don't have a general, so they can't even advance the front, so it's kind of irrelevant. But they'll get there in a month. It's going to take longer to get the war done now because of that. That's okay. So yeah, we'll get this wrapped up here, and then we'll be able to finish the colonization a little bit quicker. I need to make sure there's nowhere else to be added now that we finished that. Nope. So we got another colonial conflict over here. So we'll just send our troops from here over to there. Alright, so we're advancing the frontier. And then we'll have to bounce him around a little bit. Hopefully he goes to the areas we want him to get this done. Yeah, he's gone. Excellent. Ottoman's declaring a neutrality there. So yeah, he's bouncing where we want him to. So again, the generals have improved here. They just seem to move a little bit better. Alright, so I think that's everything. We'll go ahead and take a look real quick. And then we'll just move our general over there. Yeah, no fronts over here. So let's go move them over here now. So as soon as that war breaks out, we'll start invading them. Get that territory conquered. So again, we'll also just kind of colonize these areas a little bit quicker. Would be preferable if we didn't have to do these. But we can't do war for a while, since we need to burn off all that damn infamy that we took. Quite a bit. But that's what I wondered, like, how are the British doing this? Like, how are they doing all these conquests and not gaining infamy? Like, are the AI playing by the same rules that we are? Because it just doesn't feel like it. Like, how are they... I just don't understand how they're doing all these conquests and nobody cares. I go conquer one little bit of territory and everybody hates me. So we need to take a look at our production methods here. Get the vacuum canning changed over, want more groceries. This will require oil though. Okay, so we'll have to fix that. I'm not too worried about it though. You can see they're not going to lose a lot of money on that. But yeah, let's just go through here. And make sure there's no production methods I haven't changed yet. Repeating rifles, we haven't done that. Obviously that would be a good idea and that's going to save us a lot of money. Oil, of course, is going to have the shortage, as we expected. Could go with the covered markers. They said it's going to be profitable. They won't need as much wood, but we'll need a lot of glass and steel. But I guess we can get that one tech. Or we're going to get that anyways, actually. Sure, why not? Let's go with the covered markets. It says it's going to be profitable for them, so we'll do that. The art academies we haven't changed over here yet, so let's go and do that. Yeah, that'd be wise. So yeah, you just gotta go through here and every once in a while and make all the adjustments that you missed, you weren't paying attention to. Gold mines, I didn't know. I didn't change over here yet. Yeah, obviously that'd be wise to do that. And the dynamite as well. We probably didn't have gold mines before. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe we want to take a look and see if there's any more gold mines to be constructed. And it looks like that's it. Okay. So let's just double check and make sure there's not gold mines that we could be building. There's not. Okay. I'm guessing the pops took care of that for us. All right, that also allowed us to complete this journal entry. So we can get the 20% technology spread for society. That'd be nice. More migration attraction, that's always good as well. Or progress towards film. This you get for 5 years. Yeah, I don't know which one would actually result in more technology. Like the 6,000 here, or whatever you're getting for 5 years on this one. Let's just go for the 6,000. That gets more prestige. And so this war has broken out, so we are advancing the front now. They've capitulated, excellent. So better colonize in these little tiny areas here a little bit quicker. Try and get that done. And we shouldn't see another rebellion by them. It looks like that was kind of like their last little moment here to save themselves from being completely conquered. Did not work out well for them. We do have some political movements, probably causing a lot of radicalism. I just don't understand why radicalism is so damn high. Look at this. It's ridiculous. The laborers are not happy with us. But yeah, we have a ton of radicalism at the moment. Standard of living seems to be the main problem, which standard of living has not been increasing very fast for us, despite our really low taxes. Like, we're not taxing our people hardly anything. So it must be prices of certain goods, like common goods. Though, again, I'm not really seeing those issues here. But yeah, clearly we need to start building other things here. Once we get the taxways dealt with, since I felt like I had to do these here, we'll start working on some of this other stuff. Because yeah, I think that's really what's hitting us here, is our higher prices. Of course, we do have the shortage of oil, so we could just import this for now. So let's go ahead and do that. And I guess we could just, well, that causes the bureaucracy problems, I suppose, but... Well, let's do this based on how much we can get and the price, so the Americans make the most sense. We do need quite a bit, though, here, so probably we have to do both the Americans and the Russians. So that should help with the oil prices. Now let's take a look, see if there's anything else we'd like to trade. Now this might be something we can change in the production methods in order to fix. Nope, we already got the hardwood production. Okay. So it would probably make sense to go ahead and import here. Again, this is all costing us up here though, so I mean, you're not gonna get much. It's not even really worth it. Yeah, it's really not worth it. Let me take a look at our trade routes to see if there's any that are actually losing money. Yeah, like these 3 here are not profitable. So that'll get us back some of the bureaucracy. Let's go back over to the goods and see if there's anything we want to do here. Yeah, not worried about that because we're going to attack for that. Yeah, it's really just hardwood. But yeah, there's not much to get here. You can do the trade route, but it's not going to help all that much. Now, I don't know if we have anything we can change up with the whaling stations. Nope. Okay. Thought maybe we only have 2 of those, so we're just not producing much oil. And yeah, we'll go with this one. All right, so we're at 5 million in gold reserves because we aren't using all of our building capacity here. So let's go ahead and start. Well, we still got to take care of bureaucracy, but I think we're going to start working on these trade things, and then we'll go back to building for the bureaucracy. Let's fix the hardwood problems. And wood's still expensive too, so yeah, you could build that up. And then also transportation's a bit expensive, as is tools. Art's kind of always going to be expensive. So that's not too big of an issue. Those are the main issues I'm seeing. So you need a lot here for the hardwood. What about the wood? Okay, so let's go and start with that. We'll deal with the wood. You only get the 10 hardwood for each one of these and the 40 wood. So I mean, you're not getting much here. Yeah, I don't even know how you fix that issue. It would just take far too long. So yeah, the chance that we're gonna be able to fix this here is pretty unlikely. So we'll just build what we can. We'd have to build like a ton of these. And even then, you're making no dent in it. But yeah, that's what we'll work on. Work on those for now. But yeah, it's not gonna improve it much. You're getting 10 each. Yeah, that's not gonna do anything. It just feels like there should be another production method. We just haven't gotten it yet. Yeah, there's electric saws, but that just produces more wood. And there's nothing else here. I thought you could get the hardwood a little bit higher. But apparently not. Apparently not. So you're just doomed to not getting much hardwood from those. So I guess we'll get to the end of the month here, the end of the month of May. And I want to end the episode, and this allows us to finish up this war as well. It would be sitting at 41.4, so still a lot left to burn off here, guys. But yeah, we'll do Ashanti as soon as we get the infamy down. It just takes so long to do. Bureaucracy is in a better place though than it was. Not entirely sure what happened there, but it's clearly better. Did we get? Did we lose that bonus from the? Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think did we lose the bonus and gain it back or something? That wouldn't reflect that though, so I'm not entirely sure. We can go ahead and change up this production method though. And I said we're gonna get to the end of May. We went all the way to July 20th. I was talking. So yeah, we want to change the steel mills. I don't know if this will be profitable. Looks like it will be. Steel's gonna be really, really cheap. Still wasn't all that expensive to begin with. And we got the human rights as well. Okay, so that actually opens up some laws that apparently can't do due to our government setup here. Oh wow, that's probably why we have such a problem here. Our government is not legitimate. So I think the issue here is that he changed up his ideology. We had a different leader here, and that's what the problem is. So now we're getting a huge ideology penalty, and so that is resulting in a ton of radicals. And we didn't get any notification of that at all. We're just, if you don't pop in here and check it, yeah, the game is frustrating, guys. So now you have to remove him and just leave the bourgeoisie in government, which is 4.3% clout. And you get so much because, of course, Louis Napoleon is in that. So this is just so silly. So yeah, you do that, and that steps the government up. You literally have nobody else in your government, but that's the most legitimate government. Makes perfect sense. So I was going to confirm that. Again, it's a good idea to do it that way. So let's stop boosting them. Clearly, we should, and instead boost these guys. Even though I don't really want to boost the bourgeoisie. As long as we have Louis Napoleon, we kind of have to. It's kind of a shame because yeah, they don't have any influence here, and there's not really anything else we can do to boost it. And this only gets us up to contested, but at least we're not getting all those radicals that we were getting. Because yeah, that was a huge hit to our radicals. We'll keep doing what we're doing when it comes to suppressing here, though. So keep that up. But yeah, that's clearly where we were getting all those radicals. I mean, a lot of them were also coming from standard of living problems, because our standard of living is still pretty low. If we take a look at our current rank, our prestige has stepped up. We're still well behind the British, though. GDP is also continuing to decline. Not decline, but fall further behind the British. Obviously, our GDP is doing fantastic. Some sharp climbs there. Yeah, much ahead of the British and the rest of the great powers. Our population is very high as well. Third most populous country in the world, only to the Chinese and India. And so it's still good there, but yeah, our standard of living is, well, you obviously don't want to sort it that way. But yeah, you just look at all the great powers here. I mean, it is higher than the Russians and the Austrians, but lower than the United States and the British. The British have very good standard of living. Prussians much higher as well, but yeah, we need to step up the standard of living. I think that would help improve the radical situation in our country. Which, I mean, you got the low taxes. The only thing you really do is further decrease prices. But the main goods that our pops are paying for are not expensive. Like, none of these are goods that our pops have to pay for. I mean, I guess you could bring down the price of tobacco and wine. I suppose you could do that. We're already not trading for wine. Yeah, this is not profitable anymore. You're only getting 5 units anyways. Might as well cancel that. I knew that was a bad deal to begin with. But anyways, we would need to just continue working on all this stuff here to try and improve the situation. It does look like the hardwood is not as expensive as it was after we constructed some of this, so that's helped out a little bit. So we'll keep on working on those. And then the next thing we'll have to do is, I mean, I guess we can improve transportation. So could do that with more rails, tools, and then I suppose we can work on the stuff the pops are actually paying for to try and improve the prices for that to increase their standard of living. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.